all the way from LA. Please put your hands together for Eric Idle.
Hello.
Eric, it is terrific to see you. Before we dive into your new show, I saw you post something earlier today about having day lag. What on earth is that?
Well, it's when you talk to Australia, because you're already in tomorrow. So you are tomorrow's world. And I'm very confused because I'm in yesterday for you. So, you know, it can be very confusing.
How's yesterday? Because tomorrow's great.
Well, yesterday all my troubles seemed so far away.
Hey, Eric, your new show is called Always Look on the Bright Side of Life Live. We need that right now. Hey, what can we look forward to?
Well, it's kind of like a one-man musical. I'm trying to do things that I just want to do that entertain people surprisingly. I've got a virtual band I'm taking on the road, and so it's a mixture of comedy and music in a one-man format.
Well, Eric, the poster also promises one single fart joke. I mean, what's the process of narrowing it down to one? Does it put a lot of pressure on that one fart joke?
Puts a lot of pressure on the one
It
fart.
does. But, I mean, it's comedy, music, philosophy and one fart joke.
Oh, I see.
So you have the philosophy first, you know. Yeah.
The show includes some musical tributes to some of your dear friends, Robin Williams and George Harrison. How much of an impact did those friendships have on you?
Well, changing George changed my life. I mean, he sort of saved me and pulled me out of a very big depression, and we were just great pals suddenly, and it was very nice because it was like we were both pals from a different groups, you know, and I was in a group, he was in a group, and it was kind of interesting to compare our experiences. And then, of course, Robin Williams was just the funniest man in the world. And to be with him was always a great laugh because he was so quick and fast. And we lost him all too soon, both of them, actually.
Having friendships like that with someone like George Harrison, you've also had friendships with David Bowie, Mick Jagger, some of the biggest rockers. You're incredibly musically minded. Do you feel like you were meant to be a rock and roll star?
No, I'm glad I wasn't, actually, but they would actually find us because they were Python fans, is the truth of the matter. And I was the only one that played guitar and hung out late, so I got to meet them all and have great friendships because they're very nice people. They're all in the same generation as us, so we were all part of the same generation where we went into comedy and they went into rock and roll.
You talk about those famous people being fans of Monty Python. Elvis Presley was also a massive fan of your Nudge Nudge sketch, used to, quote it all the time. These people, to us, are icons, as are you, but to you are your contemporaries, friends. Are there people that you are really impressed by when you find out that they loved Python? Because I feel like they're all sort of at the same level as you in some way.
Well, not Elvis. I mean, Elvis saved our lives. When I was at boarding school at about 12 and 14 more, Elvis came by and it just saved our lives, you know. It was just amazing. And to find out, finally, that he called everybody Squire from my Nudge Nudge sketch absolutely blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't take it in.
Never mind the king of rock and roll, the actual king, now King Charles, he actually wanted you to be his jester. You mentioned this in your book sort of biography. How did that come about?
Well, we were at Billy Connolly's. Billy Connolly had a house in Scotland, very near Balmoral, and he'd invite all these comedians, and we'd all be there with Steve Martin, Robin Williams, Kevin Nealon, Eddie Izzard, and then Prince Charles would call them and say, I hear you've got some funny people for dinner. Can I come? And they said, well, all right, yeah. And then we kind of really just rip him, we'd just roast him totally. And he would laugh and laugh and laugh because in his job, everybody's creeping around saying, yes, sir, no, sir, So a bunch of comedians. So I made him laugh and he said, oh, you should be my jester. And I said, why would I want an awful job like that?
Details on where you can catch Eric live on stage when he returns to Australia in October are on our website. Would you please thank the one, the only, Eric Idle.
Yay!
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very kind.
What an absolute gem.